additional 25% tariff on India over Russian oil purchases.
On business news, Nigeria's Civil Aviation Authority suspends 2 value jet pilots over safety breach. I bring the details of this and more on the business segment of the news. I am Olayemi Takuro. Stay tuned.
From the world of sport, Mikel Arteta sets Arsenal trophy target for new season. I'll bring you details of this and more on the sports segment of the news. I am Emmanuel Dasalu. Stay with us.
Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. And remember, you can watch us live on Facebook at Ogtv and Ogun State Television, on YouTube at Ogtv Abeokuta, and on Ogtv website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on this platform, X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download Ogtv app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. And now to the details. President Bola Tinubu has directed the expedited rollout of the Free Healthcare Access Initiative for low-income retirees under the Contributory Pension Scheme, describing it as a critical component of social protection and dignity in retirement. This was disclosed in a press statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President, Bayo Ononuga. Ononuga said the President gave the directive after receiving a briefing from the Director General of the National Pension Commission, Omolola Oloworaru. Tinubu also called for the prompt implementation of long overdue pension increases and a minimum pension guarantee, which would provide a safety net for the most vulnerable pensioners under the CPS. President Tinubu further mandated the PENCOM DG to urgently resolve the long-standing police pension issue, emphasizing that members of the police force who serve and protect the nation deserves to retire with dignity and peace of mind. The President strongly supported the reform, reaffirming his administration's commitment to inclusive growth and protection for ordinary Nigerians. During the briefing, the DG updated the President on the suite of transformative pension initiatives to enhance retiree welfare and expand the pension scheme reach. The federal government has secured a $25.35 million concessionary loan from the Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development to support a major initiative aimed at reducing the number of out-of-school children in Kaduna State. The facility, signed on behalf of the Kaduna State government, forms part of a broader $62.8 million blended financing package with international development partners designed to expand access to quality and inclusive education in one of the country's most affected regions. The Director of Information and Public Relations at the Federal Ministry of Finance, Mohammed Manga, said the loan is expected to finance the Reaching Out of School Children program, a large-scale intervention targeting vulnerable populations, including girls, children with disabilities, and internally displaced persons. The program is set to enroll over 100,000 children, construct or upgrade more than 200 schools, and improve both the learning environment and the capacity of teachers in undeserved areas across the state. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, who was represented at the signing by the Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Nite, said the program highlights the government's commitment to transparency, accountability, and measurable outcomes in social sectors investments. The government of Ogun State says no border community will be denied infrastructure development. The state's Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele at Ayetoro Budwota, Ogun State, said the government is aware that more people have taken advantage of the conducive and secured Ogun State to move into its border towns for habitation and livelihood. Fuora Adisowo reports.
Ayetoro Budo is one of the fastest growing towns between Lagos and Ogun State. A lot of communal efforts are holding the community together, and every 5th of August is the annual Ayetoro Budo Day.
This few times that we have been on the road God has helped us to build a police station and handed it over to the Nigerian police. And recently, it was upgraded to a full divisional headquarters. By the grace of God, there is no market in this community before. By the grace of God, we have done that.
A number of traditional rulers and influential Nigerians came together to assist the community raise a sum of 250 million naira for a modern community hall and a health center.
I want to beseech every one of us, especially the citizens of this community, to be upright with the governor.
My advice to the people of the community is to cooperate very well, they have been doing before, with their capacity, because what he has even read at his speech for this occasion has shown that he is man of the people.
The Onibudu of Ayetoro Buduoba, Dr. Adewumi Adeniji Odutala, speaks on the challenges facing the town.
There is a market, functioning market, but we are praying the government to help us build it to international standard. So that is our prayer. Even if it is local standard, we want the government to build the market for us. And our road is so challenging.
The Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noemi Salako-Idele, assured the community, like others in the border areas, not to lose hope in the efforts of the government of Ogun State to address infrastructure deficits in the border areas.
Stand here and make empty promises, but I can give you my word that your cries have not fallen on deaf ears. We're a government that listens and will continue to do all we can to ensure that development reaches every corner of Ogun State, including Ayetoro Budo. And I assure you that Kabiyesi has not been shirking in this task either.
A member of the House of Representatives, Engineer Tunji Akinyosi, and the chairman of Ado-Odota local government, Abu Wasiu Lawal, also appealed to the people to be patient with the government as all infrastructural challenges are being addressed at every tier of government. Chief David Drujaye and some influential people in the community praised Onibudu of Ayetoro Budo for his leadership quality and the peaceful coexistence of the people. Substantial amount of money was realized at the 2025 annual Ayetoro Budo Day celebration, where a popular Fuji musician, Saheed Osupa, showed the people and their guests Adefowora Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
Moving on, the need for production of safe farm produce in achieving a healthy nation cannot be overstressed. Therefore, the options of homegrown farming should be considered an area of exploration. This was made known by guest speakers at a program organized by the Ogun State government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, held in Yeward North local government area of the state. Ayodeji Tomori Oluwumi has the details.
This is not just to sensitize women and youth on the benefits of balanced diet, but to also encourage subsidiary farming amongst participants. The training, organized by Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security through the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone Program, an IFAD-assisted initiative, is to inform participants on ways to improve household nutrition.
There are nutritional deficiencies that we need to pay attention to. And for us to be agile, to be healthy, we need to eat nutritious food. We need a sense to organize our children, our husband, and to ensure that whatever we are preparing is well balanced for our household.
Guest lecturers at the training re-emphasized the need to monitor what is ingested through the knowledge of homegrown produce.
The most important thing about food is that it's accessible. And at the same time, you need to monitor what you are eating. And when we are talking about cooking, hygiene is very, very key. We need to be examined when we are preparing food, because if we don't produce food, prepare those food, I think we can be found.
Participants expressed gratitude to the state government with the attestation that the knowledge received through the training will positively transform their lifestyle.
This training is very good for me, most especially for our people in this environment. They need this type of training because most of people, they don't know, they have understand what they don't know before.
Now, I will go and start how to plant some vegetable in our own surrounding.
The program is tagged Training of Women and Youth on Establishment and Management of Home Gardens for Improved Household Nutrition. Ayodeji Tomori Olunmi, Ogtv News.
Members of the Ogun State House of Assembly Committee on Finance and Appropriation have commended the State Ministry of Finance for surpassing its internally generated revenue target for the immediate performance, while charging the State Internal Revenue Service to intensify efforts towards exceeding its 2025 revenue target. The lawmakers, led by the Chairman, House Committee on Finance and Appropriation, Honorable Musefiu Lamidi, gave the commendation during the 2025 Media Budget Performance Appraisal at the Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Correspondent Kolawole Osho covered the session. Details of his report are presented in this package.
The Chairman, Committee on Finance and Appropriation, Honorable Musefiu Lamidi, in company of his co-lawmakers, applauded the State Ministry of Finance for surpassing its internally generated revenue target for media performance, while urging the management team to sustain the momentum and adopt additional revenue strategies to surpass their annual budget. Also, the lawmakers, while acknowledging the State Internal Revenue Service media achievements, tasked the OGIRS to step up efforts to exceed its target for the financial year by December in order to offset the shortfall recorded in the first half of the year. Earlier in his presentation, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Alhaji Muftau Tuwulawi, presented a 52% revenue performance for the period under review, expressing gratitude to the House Committee for the commendation and assured that the Ministry will continue to work diligently to improve on its revenue generation to support the actualization of the state's development agenda. On its part, the State Internal Revenue Service, OGIRS, represented by the Director of Finance and Accounts, Mrs. Okuromu, presented 80.69% revenue performance, pledging to work diligently to surpass the achievements within the remaining 6 months. The exercise was rounded off with the appearance of the Ministry of Budget and Planning. The House Committee Chairman on Finance and Appropriation, Honorable Musefiu Lamidi, noted that there was need to release more funds for capital expenditure, while expressing satisfaction with the Ministry's overall presentation and performance, while seeking for more detailed information on the activities of the State Economic Transformation Project, Ogtv, which is domiciled in the Ministry. Responding, Mrs. Olufunke Salami, who represented Ogtv, explained that the World Bank-funded initiative targets interventions in agriculture, education, industry, trade and investment, with a focus on driving economic transformation across the state.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide, has assured the executive members of the Nigerian Bar Association, Abeokuta branch, of its readiness towards promoting the rule of law, particularly in the enactment of legislations that are in tandem with public reality. Elemide gave the assurance while receiving the delegation from the association led by the branch chairman, Barrister Kayode Aderemi, on a courtesy visit held at the Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Again, correspondent Kolawole Osho covered the visit, and details of his report are presented in this package.
Welcoming executive members of the Nigerian Bar Association, MBA Abeokuta branch, who were on a courtesy call to the Ogun State House of Assembly, Speaker Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide, while assuring them the readiness of the Assembly in partnering with the association towards having more laws that are well structured, accessible and non-repetitive. Elemide stated that it was part of the agenda of the 10th legislature to ensure the digitalization of all legislations passed with a view to making them accessible to members of the public.
And any law that has been passed in error, we are open to making amendments. Like you said, if we have had all those laws, before passing a new one, we would have searched and perused the existing laws before passing new ones.
and that is where we will not have overlap.
In his contribution, the minority leader Lukman Adeleye called for a sustained synergy with the association, particularly in ensuring the decongestion of correctional centers in line with the recently passed resolution of the House. Earlier in his submission, Branch Chairman Barrister Kayode Aderemi assured the Assembly of the Association's readiness in providing legal insight and support to strengthen legislative output and justice sector reforms. In a related development, the Speaker hosted the Chairman of the 6th Assembly of the Nigerian Youth Parliament representing Ogun West, Honorable Morenikeji Olukoyejo, who was on a familiarization visit, assuring that the Assembly remained irrevocably committed to supporting policies that encourage youth development and empowerment. In the same vein, the Speaker also received a delegation from the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN Okpeji LCDA, on a courtesy visit, admonishing them to remain steadfast in propagating the tenets of love that Christianity signifies.
And still to come on the news, federal government warns of 5-day flooding in 19 states. We'll bring you details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us. Glad to know you're still there watching, and if you're just joining us, this is Ogtv Comprehensive News Package for the day. President Bola Tinubu has expressed sadness over the death of veteran journalist and former managing director of the Concord Group of newspapers, Dr. Doyinsola Amidat Abiola, describing her as a trailblazer journalist and a soldier of democracy. Dr. Abiola, who died on Tuesday at the age of 82, was the wife of the late Chief MKO Abiola, winner of the NL June 12, 1993 presidential election. In a statement issued by the State House, Tinubu hailed the late media executive for breaking gender barriers in the profession and contributing significantly to journalism, democratic governance, and women empowerment. Dr. Abiola went on to become the pioneer editor of the National Concord in 1980, later rising to managing director and editor-in-chief of all Concord titles, including the influential Weekend Concord. Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has expressed deep sadness over the demise of Dr. Doyin Abiola, widow of the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola. Dr. Doyin Abiola, former managing director of the National Concord newspaper, reportedly died on Tuesday at the age of 82. Abiodun, in a condolence message on Wednesday, noted that Dr. Abiola was not only a devoted partner to her husband, Chief Moshood Abiola, but also a distinguished individual in her own right, who contributed immensely to journalism profession. The governor noted Dr. Abiola's foray in the field of journalism, starting with the Daily Sketch newspaper and a brief stint with the Daily Times before becoming the managing director of the Concord newspapers. Governor Abiodun also noted that her strength in the face of political turmoil exemplifies the spirit of resilience as she stood steadfastly by her husband, providing support and encouragement during trying times, and her unwavering dedication to his vision for a better Nigeria will never be forgotten. The Ogun State Information Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists has celebrated a second year of exemplary leadership in office of its executive with a medical outreach anniversary lecture and sporting activities. Ogun State Head of Service Mr. Kende Onosoya applauded the chapel for its various initiatives to better the lots of members, while urging them to keep the flag flying by ensuring dissemination of concise, prompt and accurate information. Our reporter Margaret Ukulola has the details.
The current leadership of Information Chapel, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ogun State Council, celebrated 2 years of being in the saddle with a series of activities. Parts of the activities were sporting events to keep members mentally alert, medical outreach, and anniversary lecture, accompanied by permanent secretaries, directors, and top civil servants in the Ogun State Civil Service. The ceremonial kickoff was performed by the State Head of Service, Mr. Kendi Onusoya.
It's an opportunity to cross-fertilize ideas and overcome the various challenges. We have in Ogun State today a highly focused and responsible administration. And civil service as the engine of government must continue to brace up to live up to the challenges. So this is a step in the right direction.
On his part, Special Advisor to Ogun State Governor on Media and Communication, Kayode Akimade, charged information managers to keep the flag of disseminating accurate information about government policies and programs flying.
We have the best crop of media practitioners in the Ministry of Information in Ogun State. They are doing exceptionally well in all their postings, most of them in various ministries and parastatals, representing the ministry and government very well. What I would do is just to encourage them to do more.
Earlier, there was a medical outreach to check health status of members, followed closely by the anniversary lecture titled Issues Affecting Women and Children in the Society, delivered by the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, represented by Director, Nursing Services, Hospital Management Board, Oluremi Mosu. Members of the chapel noted that the activities for the anniversary were not just ordinary, but carefully selected to add value to members.
As journalists, we do a whole lot of things. We go for assignments, cover this, cover that, deadlines, and we rarely take good care of ourselves. And we said, now this time around, let's focus on health. Let's give them medical checkup. After that, let's make them engage in physical activities for them to be fit.
Know your health status. Know what to do at the starting stage of your health status.
There are a lot of things affecting women and children, and so this lecture is very apt. They really open our eyes to a lot of things and how we can solve those problems.
With sound mind, through regular engagement, there will be high yield of productivity. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
Away from that story, the federal government has forecasted heavy rainfall over a 5-day period that may trigger flooding across 19 states and 76 locations. The warning issued by the National Flood Early Warning System Center of the Federal Ministry of Environment called on stakeholders and residents to take urgent precautionary measures. This comes as devastating floods struck Ogun and Gombe State on Tuesday, with other states including Lagos, Plateau, Anambra and Delta also affected by the disaster. According to the center, flood prediction, the affected areas are expected to experience rainfall likely to cause flooding from August 5 to August 9, 2025. Flooding in Nigeria has become a yearly occurrence that claims lives and destroy many properties. Last year, 31 states were reportedly affected by flooding, causing hundreds of deaths, including injuring thousands of others and affecting 1.2 million. The country has experienced a series of flooding events that caused property damage, fatalities, injuries, and displacement this year. The deadliest flood so far this year was in May that reportedly killed at least 200 people, with thousands displaced in Mokwa, Niger State. Egbe Amofin Oòduà has held its 2025 National Conference, bringing together Yoruba lawyers across southwest Nigeria to celebrate the third edition of the Union in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The conference is organized to unite Yoruba lawyers in southwest towards deliberating national issues in harmony. Toyin Ogundipe's report is presented in this package.
It was a gathering of legal minds and intellectuals at the 2025 National Conference of Egbe Amofin Oòduà, held in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The conference serves as a platform for Yoruba lawyers to connect, exchange ideas, and promote professional development and welfare. Chairman of Egbe Amofin Oodua, Isiaka Olagunju, described the association as a unifying body for Yoruba legal practitioners committed to the growth and progress of their members. In his keynote address, former Attorney General of the Federation, Chief Akin Olujimi, SAN, spoke extensively on the conference with the theme Regional Justice, Security and Sustainable Development.
As members of this body, what contributions can we make towards a better future for our people in the region? The answer appears to be in the mandate of Egbe Amofin Oodua, as reflected in the aims and objectives of the association set down in our constitution.
A panel session moderated by Barrister Adebayo Akinlade featured constructive dialogue on pressing legal, social and developmental issues in the Yoruba region and beyond.
Basic truth here at Kawemo. Go to any of our towns, area boys have taken over rural area because of poverty. We can't develop under such an atmosphere. So when we are gathered here, we are very comfortable. We are lawyers already. Where is the generation that will take over after us?
Stakeholders at the event emphasized the need to entrench justice and security in the region, noting that a safe and secure environment is critical to achieving sustainable development.
If we have a good security, electricity, and some basic infrastructure, there will be a lot of job, there will be innovation and creative from the member of the public.
As you know, the first lawyers in Nigeria were of Yoruba extraction. It's a statistic that we're very proud of, and we continue to build on that.
Chairman of the Conference Planning Committee and Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Olusegun Fabumi, urged participants to uphold the values and culture of the Yoruba people.
And we have to take the bull by the horn this year to ensure that those issues that are bothering us on security, we have solutions to them.
He also assured members of the association's continued commitment to building a peaceful and secured society.
Teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. The scripture came alive for Honorable Abayomi Unye, former Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperatives, now Senior Special Advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Environment and Managing Director of Ogwama, as he marked his 62nd birthday with a series of heartwarming surprises. Binga Adekoye captured the moment, and his report is presented in this package.
It was a surprise birthday gala for the former Ogun State Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperatives, Honorable Abayomi Unye, as he marked another year. The celebrant was awakened by drummers and trumpeters, creating a memorable and festive start to a special day. Unexpected and lively entrance into his home set a joyful tone for the rest of the celebration.
Delighted and happy. And even knowing fully well that today is my special day, that somebody there or some group of people there thought it wise to give me this kind of wonderful gift.
Honorable Abayomi Unye, who currently serves as Special Advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Environment and Managing Director of the Ogun State Waste Management Authority, Ogwama, was again taken by surprise upon arriving at his office. The office was beautifully decorated, and he was warmly welcomed with the sounds of drums and trumpets, creating a colorful and cheerful atmosphere. The grand celebration, which later moved to the Ogwama Conference Room, was a tribute to his virtues and the tremendous impact he has made in the waste management sector of the state.
I've learned so much, even in the last 7 months that I've been here. I keep on learning from him as a seasoned administrator that he is.
The birthday celebrant gave all glory to Almighty God for the gift of another year.
Without God, there is virtually nothing I will be able to have achieved. It was rough, at times tough, but we give all glory to God.
A special get-together also held at his residence in Ladiri, Abeokuta, attracting friends, family, and colleagues. Prayers were offered for the celebrant, his family, Ogun State, and the entire workforce of the State Waste Management Authority.
Happy birthday to Honorable Abayomi Unye. Burial activities for former East cameraman at Ogun State Television, Ogtv, Comrade Debo Akinwumi, begin on Thursday, 7th August 2025 with a Christian wake and service of songs beginning from 5 in the evening. Venue is Estate Pavilion AAK, Degru Metro's Estate, Ladiri, Abeokuta. There will be a line-in state at 9 in the morning on Friday 8th, followed by burial service at the African Church Cathedral, Itayalo de Abeokuta, opposite Gateway Secondary School, from 11 in the morning. Born on July 3rd, 1959, Comrade Debo Akinwumi died on July 28, 2025, at the age of 66. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Business News is next when we return.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has suspended 2 valued jet pilots following a serious breach of aviation safety protocols at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. A statement by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Michael Achimogo, the NCAA said preliminary findings reviewed that the pilots commenced departure procedures from the designated bay without obtaining the mandatory pre-departure clearance. Describing the incident as a grave violation, the NCAA said it had taken immediate enforcement action by suspending the licenses of the pilot, Captain Oluroti Ogoyi, and the co-pilot, First Officer Ivan Oloba, with immediate effect. According to the NCAA, preliminary information showed that the pilots commenced departure procedures from the designated bay without adhering to the mandatory pre-departure clearance protocols. Amidst outcry from Nigerians and continuous explanations from the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria has waded into the conversation, explaining how the contentious $102 billion redevelopment plan for Murtala Mohammed International Airport will be executed. According to FAAN, the overhaul is designated to elevate Nigeria's premier gateway to world-class standards and will be executed in 6 strategic phases. FAAN further explained that the ambitious upgrade will transform NMIA into a state-of-the-art aviation hub, enhance passenger experience, and establish the facility as a top contender among leading airports in West Africa. Firstly, FAAN noted that the project will first focus on the expansion and rehabilitation of Terminal 1. The terminal, which is considered Nigeria's busiest aerodrome, would undergo a full-scale renovation. This includes a modernized exterior, upgraded interior finishes, and overhauled plumbing, electrical, and mechanical systems. Capital importation into Nigeria's banking sector surged to over $3.1 billion in the first quarter of 2025, according to data released by the National Bureau of Statistics. NBS data also showed that the manufacturing sector lost $62 million in capital importation in the first quarter. The Bureau, however, stated capital importation in Nigeria rose significantly to $5.64 billion during the review period, representing a 67.12% increase compared to $3.38 billion recorded in the corresponding period of 2024. The report also showed that capital inflows increased by 10.86% quarter-on-quarter from $5.09 billion reported in the quarter for 2024, indicating a positive trend in foreign investor confidence during the opening months of the year. In the banking sector, it's noted that the total capital imported into the industry during the period stood at $3.13 billion, representing 55.44% of Nigeria's total capital inflows for $5.64 billion for the first quarter of 2025. And finally, the Nigerian Auctioneers Group has inaugurated a national task force committee as part of efforts to sanitize the auction industry and eliminate unauthorized practices nationwide. The group, comprising core professionals in the industry, announced in a statement that it had named David Omieke as the national chairman of the committee. The National Caretaker and Electoral Committee of the Nigerian Association of Auctioneers said the task force would enforce compliance with the NAA Constitution Code of Conduct and operational guidelines and ensure only duly registered and licensed auctioneers operate in Nigeria. The committee's mandate also includes monitoring and preventing unauthorized auction activities, curbing sharp practices, liaising with law enforcement and regulatory agencies, and supporting the implementation of decisions from the Caretaker Committee and National Executive Council. And that's it on Business News. Many thanks for watching.